Cool.
And that, please. Right, Danny, I've got your session evaluation. You can see that your client hasn't written much about his own feedback. You've written a little bit. Grab a seat, please. Okay, so what do you think you've done well? What do you think you could have done a little bit better than in your session?
I think I've my motivational done well.
Okay.
I think I could have done my timings of my workouts a bit better. That's what I think.
Okay. Your timings. So explain a little bit better, please. What do you mean by your timings?
So some workouts, I didn't have more rest times.
Okay.
Maybe I could have put more rest. I had a bit of rest time, but to full extent, some wasn't. So some would be 5 seconds, some would be 10. Have rest time throughout the whole.
Okay. And your rest time, do you mean on your resistance training?
Yeah.
Okay, but you know that some exercises were superset.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. You will have to come and redo a few parts of the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these, you've got your feedback here if you want to read. Okay, you've got plenty of feeds that you can read as well in regards to your feedback. Good and bad. Okay, you've done good things, good introduction to your clients. You have explained the home posture, so starting from the bottom up to the top. You kept referring on to it throughout your workout, but sometimes you need to be a little bit more specific on your feedback. So just make sure, okay, home posture, but make sure you keep your head neutral or reinforce, like, well done, you're keeping your feet straight, that sort of things, okay? So there wasn't too much reinforcement in certain exercises, okay? So, having a look to your program, you've planned initially on your mobility exercise as a march on the spot, and you did toe tap. It's not even as an alternative, so why did you change it?
I got into the march first after the toe tap. So I got into the march. I started off with a toe tap.
Yeah, okay. In terms of rowing, on your first exercise, rowing, you didn't really stick to the plan. So how long did you do it for? Was it the full 10 minutes? And in terms of the speeds, you've started increasing intensity to quite a fast speed towards the end.
Harder speed, lower amount, lower duration of the exercise.
Okay,
So
but as a
like
warm-up,
yeah.
okay, you need to look at the intensity. So it tells me here that you didn't really stick to the plan. So if you're not going to stick to the plan, obviously you should add the changes and explain why you've changed it. Okay, so there's why you've got here on the first part of the session an R and an R. P10 provided a warm-up that was appropriate to the client, the session and the environment. So it's not just that you went quite fast on your rowing, but also what was the stretches? We've missed out the dynamic stretches. Yeah. So you need to show me those dynamic stretches. Then, in terms of your treadmill, well done. Good demonstration. You've shown properly. You were reporting quite often to intensity. However, the intensity didn't really relate to the intensity that you were planning. First of all, your intensity here is a adapted Borg scale 1 to 10. This one is the Borg scale without being adapted, 6 to 20. Okay, so you either go through the adapted one, or you go through the normal board scale. Okay. Treadmill, 4 minutes and 50 seconds on the treadmill. We've planned for 15 minutes. Why is that? You feel you could have moved on.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't ask you to move on, did I?
I didn't want it to drag and then my client gets bored.
But that's your assessment. And why would your client get bored? At the end of the day, he still needs to do it.
Yeah.
Okay? So the reason why I didn't tell you to move on was because you planned for an interval training,
Yeah.
and you haven't done an interval training.
Okay.
Okay? So I wanted to see that happening. Where is my feedback? Here. So CV1, good. Right, so in terms of the resistance machine, there's some inaccuracies here in your program to what you did. One of the things was the weight, okay? So you've planned for 60 kilos and you've used much lower weight than that. So if there's the reason, so whatever reason you change the weight, you need to make sure you change it in the program.
Said it was too heavy.
Okay, so you need to make sure you change it in your program. On your spotting, when you pass the bar, your client says my bar, and then you say your bar. Okay, and to let your client do the exercise. You don't need to be touching the bar throughout the exercise.
Okay.
So let him do. If he struggles, then you'll be there ready to help him. Okay. Good. What I've liked was the fact that you were checking posture. You've checked intensity, especially on the push down as well. You've adjusted the weight because it was a little bit heavy for him. So you were checking from different angles. So that's very good. So. And you're consistently talking to your clients, so there was a good motivational skill as well. In terms of the third and fourth exercise, this is actually all the resistance exercises. You've given good demonstrations, good explanations, but there's one thing missing, hence why you've got a little C in there, which is a comment. Okay? Breathing. What's the breathing like? How should you breathe throughout the exercise and resistance training?
Out on exertion, like push out when you're pushing out. Breathe in, out.
Good, so out on the exertion and breathe in when you go back to the position.
Yeah.
So I've got a few questions here for you. Okay. And those questions, that's what you've got to answer. That breathing question is one of the questions that you need to answer. Yeah?
Yeah.
You have planned for lat pull down, a forced rep.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, did it?
No.
Why?
I forgot what forced rep was.
You forgot what forced rep was.
It came out of my head.
So you remember now?
Help him on his way down. Heavyweight, help him on his way down. Leave him on his way up.
Okay, so it's kind of like a spot really.
Yeah,
So if he struggles on the way down, then you would have to help him.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you failed to progress the exercise accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay, because the weight wasn't too heavy for him. So you needed to make sure that he would struggle for you to help him out to finish the rep, to finish the set. Okay, so you will have to show me that again. Then we moved on to cross training. From this point here, that's when you started getting a little bit lost in your program as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so cross trainer, that's a cardiovascular training too, but it includes the pulse lowering, so your cool down.
Okay.
So after the cross training, you still added another exercise, a recommended bike, for no reason. That's not even in your plan. Okay. After your left pull down, you've included the wide grip chin up. It's not on your plan. Why is that? That's an alternative.
Yeah, because he couldn't do it.
Yeah. So if you are to use it as well, so you would have to record it there. So on the cross trainer, CV2, I know is a little bit tricky there because you've got the wall, but try not to stand behind your client. So you need to stand next to him, so sideways, so your client will be able to see you, even if it's a see from corner of the eye. Okay? If you walk behind him, or if you go behind him as you did, just say, I'm going to walk behind you, just double check your posture, and then you go back to your position. Okay? To never stay for too long behind your client, because obviously it isn't comfortable. Your client says on that exercise, intensity 20. He felt 20. First of all, I don't believe he was having intensity 20 there, so he needs to be honest with you. But also, you've planned for 6-5 RPE. 6-5 RPE on the adaptive board scale is equivalent to what? Equivalent to? Light.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's moderate. Okay? So your client was saying 20. If it's 20, you need to do something about it. He's not just asking about intensity, but based on intensity that you see and that your client tells you, that's a problem of the board scale, you need to readjust it accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay? And you haven't done it. On a plank, good demonstration, apart from one thing on a plank. What does the home posture say in terms of your head? What should your head be?
Tilted back, not tilted back, but in, neck, in.
Chin in, yeah? So neutral spine.
Neutral spine, yeah.
So when you demonstrate the plank,
Yeah.
you look at what's the position of your head? Looking down, looking up,
Looking straight, looking down,
looking down. So how was your demonstration?
looking up.
Looking up. If you're looking up, ultimately your spine is not straight, not neutral. Yeah?
Yeah.
And obviously your client did it wrong because of your instruction. Okay? You haven't progressed that exercise. The plank you could have progressed, and when you've asked your client did actually say you could have progressed my core exercise. It's too easy. Okay, too easy
I was
for
meant
him.
to do side plank, but
Okay. PNF stretch. You need to practice it. The way you've done it was wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
Why do you think you've done it wrong?
Oh, 8 seconds.
Yeah, so you do 8 seconds 3 times, you did it. So your client had his hands there and you pushed his elbows,
Yeah.
but then when you're releasing, you're taking your hands completely off his arms. So his elbows are there. So you still need to give an active stretch. Yeah? And then you went back again to another cardio machine,
No,
you went back
that
to
was my
stretching. So
That was my cool down. Because I thought there was no cool down on there.
incorporating postal lowering. Core stability and then flexibility. Flexibility is your cool down. Yeah? So you actually added a little bit, you complicated things, you added more than what you should, and no need for that. Okay? So there's a few things that you need to come and double check with me. Then on your ending of the session, your evaluation with your client, you have failed to explain to your clients his progress, linking it to the goals. Okay? So why is what you've planned and what you've just done with your clients is related to the goals? How is it related to the goals? Yeah?
I need to.
You need to explain it to him.
Oh, at the end of the session.
At the end of the session.
Oh, I explained at the beginning that the tricep will help you to push more on your bench press.
Yeah.
That stronger tricep.
But then at the end you need to explain it how what he has just done is related to linked to the goals, yeah? But as I said, you've got to come back and we've got to redo some of the parts of the program, what you've missed or what you weren't correct with. But your instruction was good, so your communication with the client was good. Okay? Any question? No?
No question.
Okay, good. You need to complete these question sheets, and that's it.
Okay,
We arrange a date. Cool.